Our narrowboat is moored up in Banbury on a sunny weekend, and because we're in the middle of a shopping centre, it is heaving. It's quite odd to see all these people trooping over our home. When you're safely ensconced inside, it's easy to forget that from the outside, you're kind of a tourist attraction sometimes.
They're all walking over on the boat. What are they doing? Stop it.
Our boat is quite well set up for privacy, so people can't look in through our windows or anything. But they also maybe aren't aware that if they're standing right next to the boat, we can hear every single word of their conversation. And if it's interesting, we are listening.
Getting the rainbow, aren't you?
Oh wow. Oh wow. That's so cool.
You may remember that we previously spent quite a bit of time in Banbury when we got stuck here because of flooding. So we got to know this area quite well, and this time around it's just a brief stop. Andrew's mum came to visit for the day, so we walked around town and checked out some charity shops. We also visited Tooley's Boatyard, conveniently located mere feet away from our mooring. Tooley's is one of the oldest working dry docks on the inland waterways. Today it's a Grade 2 listed site, preserving the original forge, the dry dock and the workshops. It's a proper working boatyard. You can take your boat here and get it blacked, so it's not just for show. But it is also a heritage attraction. On the day that we visited, they had a variety of demonstrations, like this demo of spinning, which is turning wool into yarn. There's a small museum of canal artefacts which tells the story of the boatyard and of the Oxford Canal, which is well worth visiting. We particularly enjoyed having a look around the forge.
If you want to come inside, you can come inside as well, because the fire is off.
It was built in 1778 and they still do boat repairs here. It's a fully functional space. The in-house blacksmith showed us around and she was so cool. How incredibly chic to be a blacksmith. If you want to have a go, they do hold courses here, so you can come in and make yourself a poker or something. Incredibly chic to forge your own poker, in my opinion.
You hooked yourself in, look.
I'm stuck on the forging stuff.
Tooley's Boatyard is perhaps best known as the starting point of the journey Tom Rolt writes about in his book Narrowboat. But more on that in a moment. Andrew decided to give his boots a polish. We do have a shoe shine kit somewhere on the boat, but we couldn't find it, hence the toothbrush.
Quite pleased with that.
The next day, and with fresh shiny boots for Andrew, we set off to continue our journey back off the Oxford and towards our next adventure. We're leaving Banbury. We're just passing under Tom Rolt Bridge, which I assume in the time of Tom Rolt was not called that, or maybe didn't exist, I don't know. But as we are doing this journey in reverse, we've already obviously done the journey from Broadston to Banbury and further. I thought what would be fun is, because I'm reading the book Narrowboat by LTC Rolt, his name's Lionel apparently, but he was known as Tom, because I'm currently reading this and I just picked it up when we were in Banbury, because I know that a lot of the action takes place in Banbury. I thought what would be fun was for us to kind of, what's the word, reenact kind of the journey, because one of the chapters at the very beginning of the book, he picks the boat up at Tooley's Boatyard, and the first journey that him and his new wife Angela take on the boat just after it's been fitted out and been kind of slightly modernised is to Broadston. So the first leg of the journey is Banbury to Broadston, which by happenstance is exactly what we're doing right now. So I thought it would be fun if on this journey I could refer back to the book and we could compare and contrast what has changed. For example, I think Banbury has changed quite a lot because they probably didn't have a Nando's and a Pizza Express, and of course that whole shopping centre didn't exist even when you used to be back in Banbury. So yeah, that's what we're doing. We're going to do the journey and we're going to refer back to how it was, I believe in 1939. I know he bought the boat in 1936. I don't know if it was 1939 by the time they finally got it. I will fact check that. Of course, we're doing it on the very last day of March. It's Easter weekend. You're about to meet a boat.
We've just left a spot.
Brilliant, thank you.
It's Easter Sunday, so it's incredibly busy. So there are just more boats than we've seen this entire year, all moving today. Oh yes, I was trying to say that we're doing this journey on the last day of March, and Kris, the narrowboat they were on, they were doing it on a lovely day in July. So ours will probably be slightly less scenic, ever so slightly less sunny, and also we don't have a bath on our boat, which is kind of a shame. I do wish we had a bath on our boat. But apart from that, we're going to be doing it. We're going to be very low-key reenacting it. Let's go. So what Past Me did here was set up an ambitious little concept for future me to deal with, and I dropped this in casually and then gave future me absolutely nothing and more or less forgot about it. Unfortunately, future me has now become present editing me, so we're locked in, guys. We're doing the Tom Rolt reenactment bit, and it's on editing me to figure out what the hell I meant to do with that. So strap in, we're going to do this together. So here's the history bit. Tom Rolt is widely credited as one of the key figures who sparked the revival of Britain's inland waterways in the mid-20th century. At that time, the canals were in steep decline. They were still used to transport coal and other goods, but even after the shift from horse-drawn boats to motorboats, the waterways were seen as outdated at best, and well on the way to becoming obsolete. Many canals were neglected, falling into disrepair, and heading towards being closed to navigation entirely. Leisure boating did exist, mostly on rivers like the Thames or in places like the Norfolk Broads, but converting narrowboats for leisure was extremely rare. The narrowboats in the canals were working boats, lived on almost exclusively by traditional boatmen and their families. Enter Tom Rolt. He caught the canal bug as a teenager through his uncle, who owned an old horse-drawn narrowboat called Kris. His uncle fitted it first with a steam engine and later with an engine from a Ford Model T. Years later, as an adult and working as an engineer, Rolt bought Kris from his uncle and took the boat to Tooley's Boatyard in Banbury. He had it converted to live on and modernised, notably with the addition of a bath. This was very bougie back then, and still is. The work was finished in the summer of 1939, and Rolt, along with his wife Angela, set off from Banbury, travelling up the Oxford Canal towards Braunston, just like we are. Tom Rolt didn't have a YouTube channel, so he had to romanticise his life the old-fashioned way. He wrote about that journey, along with their later travels aboard Kris, in what became his most famous book, Narrowboat. It was eventually published in 1944, towards the end of the Second World War, after several years of disinterest from publishers. Presumably they had other things to be getting on with during wartime Britain. But when Narrowboat finally appeared, it struck a chord, and it was an immediate success. Readers were captivated by Rolt's vivid depictions, not just of the scenery and the landscapes of the waterways, but of the people and a way of life that was already starting to disappear. So suddenly, there was this renewed public interest in the canals. In 1946, and very much on the back of the popularity of the book, the Inland Waterways Association was formed, with Tom Rolt one of its founding members. Its aim was to campaign for the protection and restoration of the canals for future generations, and the IWA still exists today. This moment is seen as a turning point for the waterways. It marked the shift from canals as neglected industrial relics to something worth preserving, not just for commerce, but for heritage, for leisure, and the sheer joy of being on the water. This is obviously a total simplification of the many complex events and people involved, but in short, Tom Rolt romanticising the canals in this one book is one of the reasons that we're still able to cruise this canal today. Unfortunately, the work required to maintain the canals is constant and severely underfunded. So although we're very lucky to still have this amazing network to explore, we're not exactly in a boating utopia in the present day.
Worst gate ever.
A lot of the locks in this stretch of the Oxford are in pretty rough shape. It's really common to come across locks that are partially broken and are badly in need of maintenance, which just doesn't come until something breaks completely. There isn't the budget for preventative maintenance at the level that it's needed. Talking to other boaters, this is something that's happening all over the network, and there are once again serious worries about the closure of smaller canals, which is usually down to the lack of funding. If you fall down the rabbit hole of canal discussion, it can feel like the future of the waterways is a bit bleak. But knowing how much people love this way of life and how hard they have and will keep fighting for it, I can't bring myself to be despondent. I really believe the canals will endure. What strikes me as I read the book now is how relatable some of Rolt's observations still are. Despite all the changes over the 80 or so years since he wrote Narrowboat, the feelings he describes are completely recognisable. The appeal, the quiet pleasure of boating, remains exactly the same. Like the Rolts, we decided that Cropredy was the perfect place to end the journey for this day. We pulled up at the service point to top up our water. It's a slightly weird layout here, so we're kind of hanging off the centre line in the middle of the canal, but that's fine. did a quick recce for moorings, and amazingly, there was a spot just the other side of the bridge. But then Andrew spotted something in the water that required further investigation.
Let's follow the man. What's he found this time, eh?
We found a body.
Oh no. It's a man on a mission.
Yeah, as you'll see, there's a body floating. Lifeless. Obviously lifeless. Who is it?
Jesus.
Who is the body?
What is this? Oh no, oh, this is tragic. This
Oh.
is the saddest thing I've ever seen.
Oh my god, it's a meerkat.
Oh my god, it's a meerkat. He's got glasses
Now
on.
he's got some big business interests. Doesn't he work in insurance?
Do you think there might be a...
I think this could be an insurance
there could be a
scam.
reward.
Yeah, look at this.
Oh, we might have to pull up some other images and compare them.
Yeah, we're going to need someone, forensics team and everything. It's going to need to be an autopsy.
Compare the meerkats.
Sorry.
Thank you. Oh, why?
We're not taking him back. We're going to put him on a fence somewhere. We're going to let him dry out.
I thought you were going to put him on top of the boat.
No. He doesn't look well.
He's seen better days. Well, there you go. If about 6 to 8 months ago, by the time this goes live, you lost a meerkat toy, it's just here by the bridge store at Cropredy.
It's in great condition.
Good luck.
If you're not quite chic enough to forge your own poker, a blacksmith boat is available.
Brilliant.
Look at that internet speed. You getting
Would
that?
you say that Tom Rolt had internet speeds this fast, or
He probably only had 3G back then.
he had dial-up? Amazing. Great little window. Such a pretty road. We have come to the Red Lion at Cropredy.
You've told us we had to.
We had to. For historical accuracy, we had to. We had no choice. And while it is also historically accurate, it was also incredibly good value. So big up the Red Lion at Cropredy, where a Guinness was £5.70 and a cider was £5. £10.70 for 2 pints. Unheard of. So, slightly out of focus. Sorry about that. Yeah.
Incredible.
That's what we have to report. I wonder how much Tom Rolt's pints would have been. Not £5.70. But, yeah, nice pub. Very small, very cute. Like a proper little tiny pub. Nice.
So we've got to drink here.
Quite rowdy in there.
And then Tom Rolt went back to the boat, right? That's
Yes.
what you tell me.
In the book, they went back and had food at home. So that's what we're also going to do. What's it trying to tell me? It's very modern.
pictures of boats to make boaters feel comfortable here. Looks delicious.
The next day, we went for a closer look around the village. First stop, the book swap.
Okay guys, this is a good one. Okay, so straight away, this is a remarkably good book swap because I've never actually seen one that has like library style filing, which means that the breadth of it is so vast that they don't just chuck the books in, they've got them organised by section. They also have DVDs and vinyl. Now we've never seen vinyl in a book swap before. That is a first. I mean, we've got DVDs here. They look kind of like good, under the skin. You know, it's not just like trash, they're like real movies. So this is pretty crazy. They've got a Beethoven vinyl here. Wow. It goes all the way over here. There is a children's section, a travel and history section. This is extremely extensive. I'm very impressed. There is colour coding.
Then we went to the old coal wharf, which is now a very eclectic space with a cafe, outdoor seating, vintage stuff for sale, and a show put on by musical duo Rimsky and Handkerchief. Basically, it's a glorious, chaotic mix of stuff, and I love looking around places like this. Next time, we're continuing our journey off the Oxford. We see some old enemies.
The geese are coming.
And meet some delightful new neighbours.
We're here in Fenny Compton.
See you then.